It was a beautiful game. I think it had like playoff atmosphere, playoff competition. Guys were competing. I felt like there was no like extracurricular stuff. It was just like pure basketball, pure competition. I mean, obviously, whoever won, lost. It was just a good game for for the league, for the fans. Really, really exciting game.
With just over a minute left, you guys went to Evan for a bucket that put you guys up 5. Why was it important to go to him in that spot?
Yeah. Well, the play we were going to run, we wanted to get a switch actually and put because Shai had 5, so we're hoping we were going to switch Shai onto him, but they didn't switch it. Hartenstein got through it, and then he went at Hartenstein. So it wasn't it was drawn up for him, but we were trying to get the switch. We didn't get the switch, but to be able to score on Hartenstein 1-on-1, we all know how hard that is. That's a high level talent play by Evan.
Tim.
You talked last week about how you felt like he was starting to figure out how good he could be over the last couple of months. The kind of performance he had today, is that really an indication of the growth he's had since the start of the season?
Yeah. To do it in a big game like this and against an elite defensive team, and I'll give Jarrett too in that. Like our advantage was our bigs. Obviously they have great guards, but we knew that, and it was just great recognition by our team. Like, man, we gotta get Evan the ball. They're smaller. We got to get JA the ball. They're smaller, but Evan, man, he put his stamp on this game. Made the bucket of the game. He's only touching what we all know. We keep saying this. He's only touching the surface, but more things to come from him.
And if you said before the game that Don was going to be 3 for 16, and you were going to beat this team, obviously probably would have been a long odds on that. What does it say about the overall depth of the group and what you guys are trying to accomplish, where it's not just beyond, and it's obviously not just on his shoulders to get you guys there?
So the players said in the locker room, they said we don't win this game last year, and that says a lot about our growth and their maturity and kind of where they are in their evolution as a team, and this we all said before the game, it's a 1 of 82, but we know we're being judged at this level now, and it's just one, right? We're going to go back in 2 weeks, and we'll see if we can imitate the same performance. But I think the guys feel good that they rose to the occasion, and I'm sure there was doubt, right, Tim, before the game? Can we do it? Can we? So it was a important win for us.
Ethan.
Coach, looking back to just 2 years ago when Jarrett was going up against Isaiah Hartenstein in a different jersey, it kind of looked a little bit different than it did today. To see his evolution, to see his growth, and for him to have this kind of game on this platform, does it allow him to get more recognition that you think he deserves?
I hope so. I don't know. What's the position now in the NFL they don't appreciate? Is it running back or no? That's changed now. I can't. But like it's Jared, your all pro tackle. That's just knocking people out of the way and doing all the dirty work and I know you guys see, but like. His skill level is better than people. The ability to pivot in the lane and the stuff he does. They blitzed us a lot tonight. So when they blitz, right, your big's got to be able to play in the pocket. So he got it in the pocket, made great. Evan, obviously that's his comfort zone because he's more of a wing big. But I thought J.A. Incredible all around. It was great for a national television audience to see what great all-around player he is.
And then you mentioned just the all-around performance, but Max and Ty came big. Can you just speak on how important they were in the small minutes that they did have?
Yeah, they were both really good. I thought Ty. We were talking about we needed another ball handler against their pressure, against their. We had to have somebody else that could break down the defense, and that's exactly what Ty. He gets in there, he puts his head down, and gets in the lane, and usually good things happen. Obviously 6 for 7 tonight, huge, and he's a great pick and roll player too, right? And then Max, Max is Max. Tough to, So we played a lot of zone at the end of the game to get them out of their patterns. He's the master, coming from Miami in the zone slide. So that was part of our confidence level, him being in there.
Mark.
I was actually going to ask about the zone, Coach. It's
Yeah.
not the first time you guys have used that in the fourth quarter. It obviously worked incredibly well tonight. How much of a weapon is that for you guys to have kind of just in your tool belt to be able to deploy it at any given time?
I've always believed in it, always played it. I think Brooklyn we were second. Miami's always first, but I think in Brooklyn we're second or third. I think this year we're second and third at most. And part of it was we couldn't stop them in man. That was part of it, but it's also the idea is just get them out of their comfort zone, get them out of their pet play. They have they got 2 or 3 pet plays that are almost unstoppable with Shai, and now it's different. Now Shai, they got to lift the ball over their head. They got to run something different. They got to get the big to the middle. So, not saying it was perfect, but I just think it was a good thing to get them out of the best things they do.
And Ty at the top of that, he had those 2 steals out of his own. What does he do so well in that particular position?
I don't know, is he still averaging 3 steals a game? I don't know. Like, the guy's got great, what do you call that? Hand-eye cord. He knows he might not be the best athlete in the world, but he reads plays. He reads angles, and DG's good at it too. So we got him, DG, Don. So we're not just sitting back in a 2-3. We're active. We got hands. We get steals out of it. So really was a big key tonight.
Sam.
Ken, Darius hit that floater at the end, took the game away, really. Seemed like he was composed the whole time.
Yeah.
How have you seen his growth since the start of the year?
It seems like at the end of the game he wants to make the big plays, and I'm right behind him because I think at the end of the game they're so physical. His speed, to be able to get open and to be able to get loose is so huge for us, and you can't catch him, right? He's so fast. If he can get the defense off his body, or we can run something just to get the defense off his body. We ran a couple of throw and goes for him where he just drew it to the big and he just sprints out. We flip it to him. He's kind of our big. He's been our big play guy at the end of the game all year.
Jim.
You mentioned, Kenny, that this game was great for the league no matter who won or lost.
Yeah.
To that point, seems like the league and LeBron and Steph are getting older. They're looking for another torchbearer. I think there's potentially 6 All-Stars out there tonight that are 27 or younger, something like that. What does that say about where things are headed for the league?
Oh man, it's great. Great for the league. Listen, it's great for the city of Cleveland, right? Like that's important. Oklahoma City too, our small market. So it's great. And I think the parity's great in this league. I think I enjoy it. We all enjoy competition. But to see all that talent out there tonight, these were the heavy hitters of the league, and the quality of the basketball was super high. Great win for the Cavs. win for the league tonight.
It seems like there's a couple of years for a small market guy, small market star is struggling. There's this talk about where's he gonna split to next? There was that with Donovan in the past. Just saying the success of these 2 teams and just the internet brings us all together. Do you think that stars need market size to be stars anymore?
You all know better than me because you're in this world. It doesn't seem that way to me. I feel like there's been a shift in the league. Like I don't hear people talking, oh, hey, this guy's going to move over here, or like I don't think Evan Mobley's thinking, hey, I want to get to LA, and maybe it's I'm speaking from our team and how they are. They're not looking for to jump to the big markets. They're happy here. I think it comes down to if you're with an elite organization or not. I mean, I think that's what that guys want. I think that's where it's evolved to. Evan Mobley, Darius, Donovan, they can be big stars in this market too, and such a global game, and I don't see any reason why. I feel like there's a shift. Guys aren't talking about that as much. Players aren't talking about going to big markets as much.
Jason.
Sort of along those lines, you have 2 really deep rosters. Obviously, you can play a bunch of different ways.
Yeah.
Is this the path forward now? We keep talking about the new
Yeah, it's a great question, and you know, to be determined, because the playoffs are gonna bear that out. You know, the old adage is, you know, well, in the playoffs you're only gonna play 8 guys. So you know, so we're you know, we'll see. Even with us, it's a little bit of an. Are you still gonna play 10, 11 guys in the playoffs? My first reaction is yes. My first reaction is yes. But you know how that goes. It usually, as the rounds go, it dwindles and dwindles, the numbers. So you know, we'll see what it looks like in the playoffs.
You just touched on this a minute ago, but I think Cleveland's 18th and OKC's like 26th in market size.
Yeah.
What does that mean to the league to have those two markets be the top 2 teams? And what would I know you're not going to answer. What would a Cleveland OKC finals look like from the league office's perspective?
And I don't know if if we all agree with this, but hasn't there been a push like in the NBA to have more parity? That kind of the rules are set up. So if there's more parity, does that mean you're gonna have more small market teams that are like the Clevelands and the OKCs? And I would think, you know, the league's happy about that. You know, that was that part of the plan. I'm just guessing, and like you know, you could follow up on it, but I don't think they see it as an issue, right? I think as long as the competition's great, as long as the product is great, you would think it wouldn't matter. But I might be naive, right, with my lack of knowledge of marketing and big market versus small market. But man, when you see that type of basketball out there, I would think any fan, you know, I trust the product, I trust quality. Eventually, that'll win out.
Chris.
Kenny, one of the first things that you said when you took over this job is that you were going to play Jarrett and Evan together.
Yeah.
You were going to close games with Jarrett and Evan
Yeah.
together. What made you believe that was going to be viable throughout the course of the season, and in what way does tonight's showing help validate that?
You know, Kobe and I were just talking about that. That was big questions, right? Like why you know, these two can't play together, and I came from a different angle. Why can't they play together? Because they're so talented. And you see how we do it, right? We play them together, and then we can split them up. So like you said, it gives you different ways to play. So we have really 3 ways to play. We have 2 bigs, 1 big, and we play Dean Wade at the 5. So now when the playoffs come, depending on who we play, we can do all. We got three different, you know, kind of structures we can play out of. And my experience, especially with the Warriors, that really is important, because every series is different. You have to have different lineups work, and sometimes you have playoff series where you need the 2 bigs. Sometimes you might play them less. Sometimes you need them more. And that'll play out. But to have them, you know, all that versatility, roster versatility in your back pocket is like I said during my interview, perhaps I sold that. Like that's a positive, not a negative.
Okay, it's gonna wrap for Coach.
All right, thanks everybody.
We're gonna bring Jarrett Allen.